welcome back to my channel. This is Ria Roy. Here I'm going to talk about research methodology that you must have come to know after my thumbnail. So here, I am getting many messages regarding research methodology, and you are thinking that okay, let's just skip that portion, okay, but think that you can also get 2 to 3 marks in your pocket, and I think that will save your cutoff also from NEET exam. So it's always better to prepare with it, right? Now, research methodology and research aptitude, we all have known these terms, right? Because we have this in our paper 1, and in paper 1 we need to study in more details, but in paper 2 in English literature, where we don't need to read that much in details, but yeah, we have to do some, basic things. For example, if I say that you are going to be a professor, right? And in this way, you know that research is another field that we must discover while being a professor. So here you must know what is research, what is this methodology, what are types, what are steps, and what are some examples of research. Now let's first understand the term research. So means again or new, and search means a systematic and careful study of anything to find a new or a novel like thing or facts or knowledge. Now the bookish definition of research would be like a careful, patient and systematic study of anything to find a new knowledge or to find a new fact. Now in paper 1 we have learned research aptitude, right? And what are those two kinds of research? One is qualitative research and the second one is quantitative research. In qualitative research we have research like grounded theory, fundamental theory and case study, ethnographic study, whereas in quantitative research we have like experimental study, ex post facto, action research. Now in particular research methodology in literary background, for example, we are a student of English literature, so we have to only read research methodology, and that we should skip the numerical research that is called quantitative research. Rather we should focus on qualitative research, and in specifically qualitative research we have to study on social sciences, and English literature comes under this list. Now let's first understand that what we will have to study to get clear our NET. So there are 4 things that I will make you clear in this video. Number 1 is the types of research. Number 2 is the aims and objectives of research. Number 3, that is prerequisite of research. And number 4, that is the materials and tools of research. So let's first understand the first one, that is the types of research. So you know that there are many types of researches, but in literature, in English literature, we have only 4 types of research. Number 1 is bibliographical research. Now what is bibliographical research? In bibliographical research, we have to find whether the edition is incorrect, whether the citation of the book is incorrect, okay, or that kind of bibliographical thing that we have to research on is called bibliographical research. Now the second thing is that biographical research. Now according to the new critics who Reaserch and John Crowley Ransom, who said that we don't need to read the writer's background to research on any writer's work. We can research on any writer's work without seeing its background, but sometimes it's not useful, right? For example, if you see Samuel Johnson's biography that was written by Bausel, if you see that, and you will find that if we would not have a biography written by Bausel, then we would not have got that much knowledge about Samuel Johnson, right? So somewhere on the other, biographical research plays a very important role in our research. So biographical research is important. How will you do it? Now you will either you have to interview the author who is still alive, or you can also research by the materials that he left, okay, before his death. So yeah, these are the two ways you can do your biographical research. Now number 3, that is interpretive research. Now what is interpretive research? We have some theories like psychological psychoanalysis, and post-structural theory, structural theory, Marxism. We have theories like eco-criticism, and we have kind of queer theory. So these are all theories. Now suppose you take a textbook like George Orwell's The Animals Farm. Now I am asking you to interpret this book with the theory of Marxism. So definitely you will see that when you will apply the theory Marxism, you will find many things, many knowledge about this book. So that is called interpretive research. Okay, we have the theories and we have to apply those theories in work. For example, the researchers of Hamlet, written by Shakespeare, on which they they are applying the psychoanalysis theory given by Sigmund Freud. So these are called interpretive theory. Number 4, and that is the theoretical research, where you have to formulate your own theory. And we have the researchers like I. Richard and Wimson and Bradley, who had discovered new theories, and they like theories like the affective fallacy or intentional fallacy. They have produced their own theories. So that is called theoretical research. Now my second point would be the aims and objectives of research. Now what is this aim of research? Now we all have some aims behind any work, right? So research is not an exception. Research has its own objective and aims also. Now what is aim? Now I'm giving you an example so that you can understand it in a better way. If you are a teacher, suppose you are a teacher, right? And you would teach in a way so that students can understand the things, right? Now if you continue a conventional way of teaching to your students, then their mind will not develop, right? Now what is the purpose of teaching? We will teach students so that their mind will develop, their soul will develop, and they can meet the needs of their life through their educations, right? That is our main aim. So if we continue to teach in the same way, same conventional way, then their mind will not develop. But if we try something new, for example, our India also has implemented the digital classrooms in rural areas also. What's the benefit of that? The student will get a digital environment in the classroom, okay, who cannot afford digital things, right? And in that way they also come to know many technological skills, the many technological things that they never knew. And in this way our country will also progress, right? So the main aim of research is also to find new and a different kind of discovery or invention that it can say to progress our country, to progress our world. Now the second thing is objective. Now what are those objectives of research? 3 objectives are there. Number 1 is to find any solution of any problem. Now suppose you are having a problem and you want to do want to find its solution. Like you have to find first the solution by researching, right? That what can be the perfect solution which had been done by many researchers. So that is kind of thing that you have to first find the solution of any problem. Number 2, and also I have to just make you clear one thing, that solution of any problem does not mean it's your own private problem, okay? This is not. You have to find the solution so that it will help the whole society, it will help the whole generation, okay? That kind of solution you have to find. Now number 2 objectives, that is to find the literary gaps, okay? Suppose you are researching on Hamlet by Shakespeare, and you know that like researchers have been studying on like Hamlet for centuries, and they are still discovering many more new things. T.S. Eliot also done his research on Hamlet, right? And he also found many new things that we came to know here. For example, like objective correlative, that was a theory, that was a, you know yeah, that was a criticism that was given by T.S. Eliot, right? So why he has done this research? To find again the new gap, okay, in the work Hamlet. It's not that the other researchers could not find that, but we have to find the gap, okay, that okay, this is something where I think I should fill the thing. So you can find the gap and then you can make your research. Now the third objective is that, to discover new fact or new knowledge. Again the same thing, our purpose of research is to discover new knowledge. And if I'm saying that, we are researching on any bibliographical work of John Keats, okay, and you have come to know one thing, that John Keats, constantly used consonant sounds, okay, in his work. So here we also are getting many knowledge about this writer, right, after researching. And again I'm giving you second example, like, American writer Herman Melville, who has written a very beautiful work that is called Moby Dick, where you will find that he has written some, he had written a word like coiled, where the word was not exactly the correct word, but it was actually the soiled, okay. So here you can see that after researching the bibliographical thing, we come to know that the writer was correct and the printer or editor was somewhere incorrect, okay. Now next, the third point, and that is the prerequisite of research. Now every work has its own prerequisite, okay. For example, if you are appearing for UGC NET exam, so you also have some prerequisite, right? What are those prerequisites? Like qualification that you already have. For example, you have to get 55% in your masters, and you should like completed your master, or you can start your master, only then you can sit for UGC NET English Literature exam or any kind of exam, right? That is prerequisite. So to research any work, you also have some prerequisite. And what are those? Number one is that you have to be very skeptical, okay. You should have developed a doubtful mind or a skeptical mind in yourself, so that you can have some questions, and to answer those questions you will read or you will research. Number two, that is, you have to read lots of things, okay, because if you read 100 pages, only then you can produce only one sentence. Now the third thing is that good command in this language, okay. You should know the grammatical rules and everything about this language, and you should be very fluent in this language. Now number four, that is the knowledge of socio-cultural background of any writer. Suppose you are going to research Thomas Hardy, the Victorian writer, okay. Now if you don't know his background, why he was written such pessimistic works, why he has written such characters like Tace, whose life was just miserable. Why? Because at that time the Victorian age came, and there were many developments, there were many changes in the period, which made Thomas Hardy write all those things, right? So you have to know that. Now number 5 point, and that is the background of Christianity and Greek mythology and Roman mythology, okay. These all the three things that you must know. If you don't know what is Greek literature, what is Greek myths, if you don't know Iliad, Odyssey, if you don't know why is like Homer famous, and if you don't know what happened when the Romans came and what they did produce and how Bible produced, then I think you cannot somehow research on British literature, right? Or English literature in a whole. Now the next point is that you also have to be very much specific for your linguistic background. Okay, yeah, these are all the prerequisites that you must have keep in your mind before you research anything. Now the fourth thing, that is the materials and tools for research. Now what are those materials? In in scientific research we have some materials, right? For example, we have some materials in our labs, okay, with which we cannot go further for our scientific research. Same way, literary research, we have to do some, we have to have some materials. For example, you have two things, okay, to research for. One is the manuscript that has been written by the writer himself or the poet himself. For example, we have the folios that was published in 1623 by William Shakespeare, right? And we have to know, we got to know many things after his folio. Now number second thing, and that is the the printed books. Sometimes printed books are not that much reliable, but yet if the author is not alive, or the manuscript that we could not find, so we have to find the way to go for the printed one, right? And we have to also read those printed books so that we can research on the writers or his works. Now the tools. Now what are the tools? In scientific research we have tools like magnifying glasses and some chemicals and everything. But in literary research we don't need that much things. Rather we need like the the proper tools. For example, we need you know the the notes that have been given by another author or another writer who had done his research on that writer. Okay, and this is called primary research and the secondary, primary source and the secondary source. Primary source, we have the writer's own view or the writer's own manuscripts. In secondary research we have the data, like we can find it in Google's or any kind of articles or any kind of papers that were published on that writer. So we can call it as secondary research, secondary sources. Now the second thing is that we can also find the tools as our the printed books that was printed by any printer or any press. So we can find that way to research on that. So these are all the tools and materials that I have shared in this video. Now these were all the 4 points that you must keep in your mind if you are also making notes on research methodology. And there are some other things like how to find research topics and all, but these are only important when you will complete your exam and then you will go for PhD. Otherwise, for your exam purpose, these 4 things I think enough. And please do make notes, details note on those topics which I have given. Thanks for watching this video till the end. Thank you. If you really like this video, do like and subscribe to my channel so that I will get my motivation and I will again come back with my new video. So yeah, and keep always commenting on my boxes so that I can get to know some new things and topics that you want to study about. Okay, so bye bye, thank you, take care.